Okay, so uh, once you've learned some flowers, it's about time to start learning some hybrids. And the first hybrid that I learned was Mercedes, or Tricatcher versus Extension, which might not have been the best hybrid for me to learn first, but it did teach me a lot of great things that helped me learn so many other hybrids, which is being able to move, which is being able to do polyrhythms, and also being able to have hands that operate, and being able to have two different poi that operate in both anti-spin and in-spin, which Mercedes does very well. And so the first thing you're going to want to be able to do to learn this trick is to learn a triquetra. And so the way I would recommend doing that is to take a 4-petal anti-spin flower, and then out at these two, and then out at the two side petals. Once you go up, instead of dropping the poi down for that bottom petal, what you can do is just drag it across. Once the poi is at the top, you can just drag it across, and then you will have a triquetra. And I think this is probably the easiest way to learn it, because it takes something you probably already know, a 4-petal anti-spin flower, and then just takes out a part of it to make a triquetra. A lot of moves in poi are just, from what I can tell, a lot of them have very similar parts to other moves, so you can just swap between those parts, and it opens up a lot of new tricks, like 4-petal anti-spin. You can just easily turn that into a triquetra. And so with that triquetra, you can, the next thing you want to learn is to be able to turn your poi to be able to do polyrhythms, which is where your poi are moving at different speeds. In this one, your one poi is going to be going at twice the speed as the other one. And the way I learn this is you take like a butterfly, and then as they're coming down, you count down 1, 2, 3 beats, and then try to get one poi to go twice as fast as the other one, and then do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then gradually work your way down until it's just no beats in between. So it's like 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and down to 1, 1, 1, and eventually you'll get to the point where it's just constant. And at that point, you have all the pieces together. And so the way I would recommend doing this is to take a static spin here, and to take a butterfly, and then in one hand do a triquetra, and then gradually do a bigger and bigger extension in the other hand. And once you have an extension and a triquetra, then start bringing the hands closer and closer together, like you might learn a butterfly. And then eventually your hands will be together, and you will be doing the Mercedes. And so the Mercedes not only looks really cool, you can use it for a whole bunch of other transitions, like 4-petal anti-spin. You can do switch that into triquetra at the sides, just by switching the direction of one hand, just moving the arm in the other direction, and turning that other hand, still doing the 4-petal anti-spin, into a triquetra, which that's how we learned how to do triquetra in the first place. So it's also very useful for switching timing and direction, since the Mercedes is a polyrhythm hybrid. It passes through both split time and together time, and so you can use it to move between those two timings. Another thing, I would recommend learning it with both hands doing the triquetra, because just switching between them looks really cool, and also there are going to be times when at least when I find that it will be useful to know both. So I hope that this has been helpful.